Jonathan Trapa, creator of the World Resilience Summit, and I want to welcome you to day one of our Resilience Challenge. Today, let's begin with building the foundation of all resilience, learning how to take a stance. When life gets tough, most people try to think their way out of stress, talk their way out of paper bags, so to speak. But what we need is to come back to our senses, come back to our bodies, our breath, and back to the ground beneath our feet. Let's begin our journey with a simple practice inspired by my family tradition called Qi-Dao, learning how to take a stance, natural stance that is. You're about to learn how to take your authentic stance in life. It will serve as a solid foundation for growing your resilience a lot stronger. Many of us only manage to stand upright relying mostly on muscle tension, mental effort, and caffeine. How do you feel in your body right now? By discovering your authentic natural stance, you are going to discover a way to reconnect with a much deeper resource that is always available to you. This resource is the skeletal structure that supports you every day. It uses no effort to support you against gravity. The bones are always stronger than muscles. So instead of using muscular strength and tension, you are going to learn how to rest on the bone structure of your body, your skeleton. You know, muscles are not as strong as bones. They also burn energy when you're using them, and that leads to depletion. Muscles also get sore and stiff from overuse, and tense muscles turn into energy blockages, which lead to poor health and all kinds of health problems. So, let's find out how to stand without so much tension and pain, removing the energy blockages so that you can breathe naturally and easily. And when it comes to breathing, what can be healthier than being natural? Let's do it now. The first thing we're going to do is just stand in your habitual way of standing and check with your breathing. On a scale from 1 to 10, how easy it is for you to breathe. If there is any obstruction to breathing, obviously it's not going to be a 10. You're probably going to be somewhere lower on that scale. If it's super easy, well, great, and you're going to be higher up on the scale. If not a 10, maybe an 8 or 9, depending on where you're at. We will start from there and improve. Next thing we're going to do is jump and land softly, just like this. Once again, help yourself with movement of arms, jump up. You don't have to jump super high. And when you land, absorb the shock of landing by bending your knees. Just like this. Notice where your feet landed. They're probably not where they used to be. A lot of Tai Chi and Qigong teachers tell their students to turn the toes parallel to each other, shoulder width or whatever width, but there are different strokes for different folks. And this is exactly what we're learning, how to take a natural stance that is authentic to you. When you land after jumping, your feet will land in the place where they need to be so that your body feels most stable. But even before that, when you're just flying through the air for a split second, your body realigns. It literally has the moment of truth where it can find itself in weightlessness because it's flying through the air. That is the moment when the skeletal structure can quickly realign, find itself in an optimal position for landing, because the body knows unconsciously that when it lands, it doesn't want to fall over, and it will do whatever it takes to make itself stable. And what we are doing is we are challenging the body so that it actually gains that level of stability. So once again, let's jump and land softly. Notice what happens to your arms. The position of the arms is not the same as you probably use them in daily life. Most people turn their arms backwards. Literally, this is the back of the hand, this is the front of the hand. The palm is the front. So turning the back of the hand forward is literally wearing your arms backwards. It's not an anatomical position of the body. The anatomical position, if you look at any medical chart of the body, is with the palms forward or it's some angle. Whatever angle is most appropriate for you, we'll have to find that out. The next thing I want to bring to your attention is the alignment of the legs. Not only will your feet land where they need to land in order to be stable, ideally your knees would also point where the toes are pointing. If you glance down, you ideally would see that your knees are pointing pretty much where your toes are pointing, maybe the big toe, maybe the second toe. And if your knees are not pointing where the toes are pointing, it means that the bones of the upper leg, lower leg, and your feet are not in alignment. And when the bones are not in alignment, obviously, you will have to compensate for the lack of structural integrity by tensing up the muscles and relying on the tendons. And those are never as strong as bones. So, when we do this jump and land in the natural stance, we want to land as strong as humanly possible. Tomorrow we'll explore greater refinement of the alignment of the legs. I just wanted to bring to your attention that ideally the knees would point where the toes are pointing, and it's not forward. You will not land with your toes directly forward unless you're a downhill skier. Obviously, if you're on skis, you don't want your toes to point in two different directions, but you're not on skis. Your feet don't have to point directly forward. As a matter of fact, you will be less stable if you point them directly forward. Let's take a look at one more alignment, and that is the alignment of the head and neck. We need to bring the top of the head on top of the head. The real top of the head, not the false top. The real top of the head in Chinese medicine referred to as Bai Hui point, that is on the line connecting the two ears over the top of the head. So we grab the tips of the ears and gently tug straight up, bringing the top of the head and aligning the neck. The cervical spine is obviously the part of the whole spine. So if the neck is not in alignment, it means the part of the spine, the cervical part, is not in alignment, which means the spine is not aligned. We want it to be aligned. And how do we align it? Just simply bring the top of the head on top of the head. And now, I invite you to close your eyes for a moment and check with your breathing. Again, assess it on a scale from 1 to 10 as to how easy it is for you to breathe. Notice the difference between the way you feel now versus the way you felt just a few minutes ago. This, my friend, is an amazing transformation that happened just in a matter of minutes. Imagine what else we can achieve together. I look forward to seeing you in our online community. Please share your thoughts. You're welcome to post a video or a photo of yourself. I look forward to continuing our journey together.